Hello, good afternoon. It's Sunday and it is September the 26th, 2021. This is Ben Shatliff on Sunday. Before we look at the main points of the news over the last 7 days, let's look at the latest headlines. And the Transport Secretary Grant Shapps blames the haulage groups for creating manufactured situations as pump chaos continues. Over the weekend, some garages have run out of fuel, not because there's not any fuel to be given, it's because there's no haulage to be able to transport from the depots to the actual stations, to the actual petrol stations. It's also been said if people carry on as normal, we wouldn't have queues. That's what the Transport Secretary Grant Shapps has said. And it's also been a significant development today in the murder of the teacher Sabina Nessa. Detectives investigating her murder have said they have arrested a 38-year-old man in what Scotland Yard said was a significant development. In Brighton, the Labour Party are having their first conference since the election of Keir Starmer, but the first ordinary conference since COVID-19. Yesterday, the Deputy Leader, Angela Rayner, used the title When I'm Deputy Prime Minister and said about what she aimed to do, a way of trying to level up in a different way than what the Conservative Prime Minister Boris Johnson is wanting to do. She has also declined to apologise for calling the Conservatives scum, saying she was using street language to convey her anger and frustration at the actions of the government. And also on entertainment news, we are just 4 days away from the 2-year wait, or even 6-year wait since the last James Bond film, which of course was Spectre, when the next Bond film is released. And I myself am very much looking forward to seeing that brand new film on Thursday evening. Now, this week has been a week, once again, of divided opinions, depending which way you voted in the 2016 EU referendum. Yes, it's all come down to Brexit once again. Not just Brexit, though. The shortage which is going on with fuel and also food and all kinds of other things is not just all completely down to Brexit, but many people will say that Brexit has had a hand in it. I myself personally sent a tweet to the Prime Minister on Friday asking the Prime Minister if he would actually allow for our fellow brothers and sisters from European countries. I said, please bring back our fellow European brothers and sisters who want to live and work here in the UK. It has kept us going. They wrongly had to leave. Give them indefinite visas. There we go. That's on my Twitter account. It's still there. It's a pinned tweet. Later that evening, I'm not saying I got the full credit, of course, for this, but it was announced they were looking at specific rules to allow people to come back to the UK. That's provided, of course, they want to come back because, of course, with what happened. This is a very difficult situation. I raised last week on Ben Shatliff on Sunday about the issue of water here in the northwest of England because of a shortage of water, and a village that the reservoir in Cumbria was built on has been seen twice within the last 3 years. Great Britain, that's including England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, has been classed as one of the richest countries combined in the world. And we are now having situations where, because of various different reasons, fuel can't be delivered to stations, food can't be delivered to the supermarkets or to the restaurants and various different things, and there is not the right growth of produce to get things moving, plus a shortage of water in one of the most highly populated regions of the United Kingdom. So what's going to happen? If we have no water, that in itself is a humanitarian disaster. If we have no fuel, and if all the lights go out and various different things like that, again, that's another stage of a humanitarian disaster. There were people that said before the referendum in 2016, life was better before we went into Europe. That was 50 years ago, my good friends, not 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. One of the greatest achievements and greatest things for any child of any age that was at school right up to the age of 16 was the fact that they could use their European passport as the greatest education that anybody could ever have. Let's not forget, people from America love to come over to Europe. They love to see all the various different countries. People from all over the world love to come over to Europe. Very often people say once they're no longer part of something, they soon realise of all those benefits. I myself knew the benefits of being part of the European Union, and never once, even before the referendum, considered leaving the European Union. Why leave something? So now what we need to do is to all be an embracing nation and welcome anybody who wants to come to the United Kingdom from anywhere in the world that wants to live and work and contribute to life here in Britain. Because I'm going to raise something very, very controversial now. People say that immigrants come to the United Kingdom, get benefits and don't do anything. That is a load of complete and utter nonsense. Because there are many people who were born here in the United Kingdom that don't contribute to society, that don't do anything, that sponge off everybody else. And they're the first then to criticise anybody that comes from another country. So, what we need to do to sort this situation out, we need people here in the United Kingdom to get off their backsides, smell the coffee rather than the dope or whatever else it is that they may be doing to pleasure themselves during the day. But what they need to do, they need to get on their backsides and they need to learn new trades. They need to go out and they need to have a go at strawberry picking. Or, if they're not sure of a career and it's not too late at any age, learn to be a HGV driver or a tanker driver or do something that can actually then help the rest of the country. And they can get paid for it. Yes, get paid and contributing, which helps everybody in the long run. Life is tough, but sitting down and not doing anything about it makes it even tougher. So that's one thing that we can do. So anyone that's thinking, right, let's do things here at home, that's one thing, but it will take time. But for the short term, let's welcome anybody from any other country that wants to come and help. Let's get Britain and the world back to a normality. When I say normality, I'm not meaning COVID. I'm meaning normality of the economy moving and everything else. Get Britain moving, get Europe moving, get the world moving. And let's one day have an argument of what's better for the world, rather than people always constantly bringing the world down and everything else. So I hope you've enjoyed my rather frank discussion this Sunday lunchtime. As I live each day, may I do my part to make one difference to touch one heart. And through each day, may it be my goal to encourage one mind and inspire one soul. On a personal note, I have had an absolutely wonderful week this week. I've been a bit quiet this weekend. I'm just nursing over a rather nasty cough and cold. So that's why I was not at church this morning. But next week, a big week ahead. A nice week to look forward to at work. A reunion on Wednesday evening with stuff I'm doing at church. The Bond film on Thursday. Out with friends on Friday. And then whatever the weekend has in store. So whatever you want to do, the sun's shining now behind me. This has probably been my longest broadcast for a while. So take care, stay safe, and embrace and enjoy life.